if you're about to lose something, or if you know of somebody who's going to lose something, please keep watching. This video is going to be how do you deal with the loss of something in your life. Now, I've dealt with this many times over. I'm pretty sure you have too. And you and I know that when we lose something that we hold so dear to our hearts, it's freaking painful. It's so painful. We all would much rather not have to lose something that we love, not having to deal with the pain of loss. The question that I want to invite you to have a think about is this: what is it that you have over-invested in? And by over-investing in, I mean, what is it that you have overly attached yourself to in relation to the thing that you've lost? So for example, perhaps you might be somebody who is going to lose a relationship, a 5-year relationship. Now, using myself as an example, when I had to go through the breakup of this 5 to 6 years relationship that I have, I realized that I have attached a part of myself. I have attached my identity to this relationship that I have, that I had such a huge part of me that I have attached myself to in the relationship, where I have identified myself as this amazing girlfriend. I've identified myself as this person who has a really successful relationship and who's going to keep it going, right? And so when the relationship ended, and when I knew that it was over, even though I've already known that it was over for a long time ago, but the physical act of ending the relationship was difficult. It was tough, and I had to deal with the post repercussions, if you like. I have to deal with post breakup for about at least 6 months or so before I finally learned to get back on my feet again. I then realized that if I didn't have that much of an attachment to that identity, that the pain might not be so severe, in that it wasn't because of the fact that I lost a relationship that made me feel so bad. It was because I've lost a sense of myself. So another example to this will be, I'm sure that you or somebody that you know will know of somebody who has been in a long-term relationship or a marriage that, even though they might not be necessarily happy or necessarily fulfilled, perhaps the relationship could be even a little bit toxic, assuming that it's not a physically abusive relationship, because then there could be reasons why the said individuals might not be able to leave the relationship. But let's just consider that it's a normal relationship. Things are going along fine, but something is missing in the relationship. These individuals might not necessarily be very happy in a relationship. However, they're not willing to walk away. And we've heard countless of stories over this. And then there's this idea of how a relationship is judged by the length of time, judged to be good for the length of time, whereas I would beg to differ for that, right? Now the point being is this: the people who stays in this relationship are staying a lot more to do for the comfort. All right, that's number one. And number two, they're more interested in how they look to the world as a unit, so much so that they're willing to sacrifice their own happiness for their external identities, for their ego, for how people is going to view them. So they have attached their identity to that. So this doesn't just apply to a relationship. It could be a prestigious career position in this corporate place that you've worked for a long time, and perhaps you have attached your identity to being this high-flying, successful corporate person. You could also perhaps attach yourself to an amazing fit and sexy body. If you go to the gym often, perhaps you're this amazing pretty looking thing who's fit, who's tall, who's slender. And then you hear of stories where athletes or someone has lost, met with an accident and lost maybe a leg, or lost a physical part of themselves. And the hard part of that is because of what they have identified themselves with that. You know, whether it's losing your looks through an accident, through a health condition, whether it is losing your career, whether it's losing your money. You know, you've lost the identity of how others view you, that you're this rich, wealthy person who has a 6-story house, for example, who drives a Merc, for example, who drives a BM, and you lose all of that. So you hear stories where people during the market crash, I think back in 1997, these people who lost all their money overnight jump off the building. And when you really think about it, money can be earned back. So it's not so much because they lost the money as to the fact that they've lost their identities, along with everything that they have ever known, along with everything that their money gave them, along with everything that they have. They've lost their sense of identity. They have lost their sense of self. So the question is this: have you actually given so much importance to these identities, whatever that may be in your life, that you've placed so much importance and given them so much weight that you are willing to sacrifice your own peace of mind and happiness for those identities? What would you actually stand to lose if you let go of that identity? Would there be more freedom? Would there be more peace of mind? Would there be less pain? How do you actually manage this in a way that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what you lose, no matter what comes and go, you are going to be just fine? And the only way to handle that is to know that things come and go. They truly do. And that the only way to manage these changes is to cultivate a deeper inner strength, that as you invest in over time, as you put in more time into it, as you cultivate the strength, the mental strength, the inner strength, that is something that can never be taken away from you, no matter what happens. No matter whether you have lost your health, you might be diagnosed with something severe like me, no matter how much money that you have in your bank account, no matter whether your lover left you, whether you lost your job, that inner strength and the mental strength, the mental resilience stays with you no matter what happens. And that is something that can never, ever be taken away from you if you built it up enough. So the last question that I want to invite you to have a think about is, what can you cultivate within yourself, so much so that no matter what happens in your life, you know that you have it within you to handle it, that you can have that confidence to say that I will be okay no matter what happens, and truly mean it inside of you, that you can have the freedom and the choice of having whatever you want, whether it's career success, material success, wealth, 10x money, the relationship, the love of your life, that fit body, that if ever one day you were to lose it all, you will be just fine, and you know that you have it within you to build it all up again if you so choose. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you deal with any loss or any potential loss in your life: cultivating deep inner mental strength and resilience. I hope this helps you. If this is going to help somebody that you know, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.